from a lot of people, get a lot of pressure from like their mother-in-law was like, oh, you don't want to gain the baby weight back. Like
that is a crime.
Like, and
that is a crime.
I would jail for them.
Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Amy.
And we're Cimorelli.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to
the Cimorelli podcast. Hello. You are here today with the three wimps and wigs. And I don't know why I'm here, TBH, but we, and by we I mean they, are going to talk about motherhood. And specifically, what they wish they knew or what they didn't know.
What we
both.
wish we knew.
What they wish they knew before they got pregnant and were postpartum. Things that would have helped them on their journey and could help you on your journey if you are currently pregnant or hope to be pregnant someday.
And first we'll address, where's Lauren? She's not in this episode. She'll be in the next episode. Today we are giving her extra time to work on our album. So she's at home mixing right now. She needed this extra time.
She's at home with our album. Lisa is at home with her family. Lisa is helping her husband do his cancer treatments, so she doesn't really show up in the podcast, but she's all over our TikTok and our Instagram and all the other things, so watch out for her there. And this album. She's all over this album. She's in the stew recording. So, yeah, that's really all we have to say about that. So sit in and strap in for what to expect when you're expecting.
The 2025
Boom.
version. Did you ever read that book?
Is that a good
Yeah,
book?
it was actually really bad.
I never read it.
It was actually really
Did it
bad.
not tell you what to expect?
It wasn't good. It didn't have very good information. I would not recommend that book.
She doesn't recommend, folks.
No, it was actually so bad. I was like,
God.
this is really bad as I was reading it. So
Oh, wow.
I don't recommend that.
Remember when they made that into like a movie?
I absolutely read that book.
I
Yes.
think it was Leanne Morgan who in her comedy show was like, and then you read what to expect when you're expecting, and it says something like, in the 7th month, on the 7th day, you'll develop a hemorrhoid, and then you're like, wait a minute. She said it was like oddly specific, and I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, I do remember it being very
I never read it,
specific.
so-
Was it accurate?
I don't remember. I just remember thinking it was so bad, and no one should read this. I don't
feel
remember
like
why.
it was so much more helpful just to talk to like you and my mom and like my sister-in-law, like people that had been pregnant before, and just like be like, did this happen to you? Is this normal? When did you stop getting morning sickness, et cetera, et cetera.
Except for my mom's not very helpful. We'll get into this because she just had like a lot of an easier time than me in every aspect. So that wasn't very helpful. Good for her though. Anyway,
Yes.
moving
Good
on.
for Lynn.
Love that for you, Lynn.
Moving right along. So let's start with our highs and lows of the week.
Okay.
Oh, mine's easy. My high of the week was the gender reveal
Oh, yeah.
of the baby, which I don't know when I'm posting online. I'm not really posting anything crazy online. It's not that crazy. So I don't even know what I'm going to post. At some point I'll say soon.
Oh, yeah. Are
So
we
I don't know
gonna
if I
make
said
one?
it yet. I don't know.
Like do a collab post?
I don't know.
We do have that
Maybe
other
we'll think about
balloon
it.
still. We could use
I don't know.
it.
We'll see. So that was the high of the week. That was really exciting. And what was the low of the week? Just having a day of just pure exhaustion, which I keep having up and down, like different days. So I'm coming out of the first trimester. I'm almost out of it. And now I'll have a day with some energy and then like pure exhaustion, and then day with energy, pure exhaustion. And the pure exhaustion days are just a low because it's like, how do I get anything done? But I have a lot to do. Obviously, you can't just take a break from your being a mom.
Did your morning sickness go away?
My food aversions are still going strong. But my nausea is pretty much gone.
Yay!
7 weeks of nausea over.
Oof, love
Food
that.
aversions still happening, but they will be over soon.
Yes, they
Love
will.
that.
I only have a couple more weeks left of food aversions.
Man.
I just can't wait for the day I can make eggs for breakfast, and then I can make myself a lunch, and then I can make myself a dinner, and I can have all these home cooked meals because I'm so sick of eating out. That's all I've been doing, and I'm over it.
Isn't that fun though? It's like everything old is new again. You're like,
Yeah, now I'm like,
wow, I get to eat this food, and it's like it feels like it's the first time like you're trying a new cuisine.
It
even though it's
really,
something
it really
you've
is just
never
like when you have stomach flu and you're like, you start like daydreaming about a food because you haven't been able to eat it in like literally 2 days, and you're like, oh my gosh, when I could eat whatever.
I eat just eggs and
It's
toast
so
for like
good.
4 days straight every time I have the stomach flu.
But yeah, I haven't touched eggs. Just utterly disgusting. And I can't wait until I can get them again, but I can't. Because eggs, I love. I make them so many different ways for breakfast.
They're so good.
And I have so many great different ways I make them, and I can't do it at all. And it's just really
That's
depressing.
really upsetting, TBH.
Yeah, literally, this is so weird. Okay, remember kashi? Every
Yes.
time mom bought it,
Yes.
I was like, this is dog food, right?
No, it was
You know what I'm
wild.
talking about? Okay, but this is really weird. They make one cereal that's actually really good. It's like mini wheats, but it's cinnamon. It's called like Cinnamon Harvest.
Oh, I think I've
Like
had that.
shredded wheat cinnamon harvest. That's like the only cereal I can eat right now.
I am not a cereal girly. I never have been.
I'm such a cereal girly.
I remember with the twins, I had so many food aversions, similar to you, like basically food aversions to almost every food, but very strong with dairy, all dairy,
Oh, that's
including
so
ice
weird.
cream, and
Ah.
very strong to chips. And I remember
What?
having like strawberry ice cream that I had bought like right before I got pregnant
you're
in the
like,
freezer.
ew,
and I was
ew.
like, this is the most disgusting thing. Get this out of my house for like a year or two.
I think I had that with Barrett too. With
I'm
the ice cream,
still
I was like,
a little nauseated by it. Like I can't look at it. I don't know. It's weird. It never really went away.
okay, that's weird.
That's
I know, but it's weird because I remember specifically, but that's actually happened with Asa too, but like both times seeing chips and being like, ew, that looks so
chips
greasy.
being gross makes
Chips
no
is
sense.
like a pregnancy food for me.
Oh, walking by the chip aisle, I was like, I can't look at that.
That's so
Both
weird.
times, that's so weird.
It's like more vegetables and eggs for me.
I had those too.
But you know what I keep eating lately? I keep cutting up a cucumber, and then I figured out they have salt and vinegar like seasoning. It's like a powder.
What?
So yes,
Powdered up vinegar?
and that's like my number one
That
fave.
sounds really good.
Like fave
Wait,
chip
that does
flavor,
sound really
basically.
good.
So you can take that and put it on everything. So I was putting it on. So just this last week, I was able to eat tomatoes. I put salt and vinegar seasoning on it, and then cucumbers. I put salt and vinegar seasoning on it.
It's like everything but the bagel seasoning.
Do you like pickles
really
in
good.
pregnancy?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
'Cause I do too. I like them so much.
Yes, the last week I got so many of those, like they like sell these individual pickles, and they're like chopped up, or the big individual one, and I've been like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, the pickles, which is such a
So good.
stereotype.
It's such a stereotype, but it's
I haven't
true.
had that one before until
That
this
is
time.
Because they're so
funny.
crunchy and cold.
Wait, have
and
either of you
good.
had the sauerkraut vibe or no?
No.
Because I
don't
feel like that is a
sauerkraut.
stereotype, but maybe I'm
I
wrong.
like sauerkraut, but we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. We'll see.
Yeah.
Things are about to happen with what I'm going to eat, because I'm going to be able to eat a lot more things.
Oh.
So I can't wait. Anyway, I'm so done with eating out. I'm so over it. Never want to eat out again. I want to make every meal. I can't wait. It's such a privilege. Like, it's such a privilege to be able to make a meal at home and then eat it and then not feel like you're going to throw up.
Well, and
A
we're getting into
privilege.
my favorite season of soup, salad, and bread.
Yeah, I was saying this is amazing.
Best.
I'm going into fall, and now I'm going to be like dying to
so
cook
fun.
stuff.
Yes.
You know what? This is really weird. I remember last time I kept watching the Kardashians because they have all these amazing meals. They have amazing meal after amazing meal because they're constantly like eating out or like having like a chef make the
A
meals
professional
on the, I
chef.
don't know why there's a lot of food on their show, and it's always like this amazing fresh looking stuff. So I remember with Tristan, I kept watching Kardashians to see all their meals towards the
my
end,
gosh.
because you start being like, oh my gosh, I can almost make stuff. So then you just like want to see a bunch of food. So yeah, I've been
Love that.
getting really excited. Yeah, so that's my high and my low. Sorry, that was long. Next.
Amy, what about you? Your hair is giving like auburn.
It's so light and it's red and it's not right.
Wait, was it not supposed to be red?
I haven't dyed it in like 2 or 3 months.
It has such a red. Like,
I know,
could also be
guys.
this
Don't
yellow
look
light
at
behind
it.
you.
No, it's just like it's just brassy. It's just the
I
brass.
don't think it's brassy.
But yeah. My low was it's a simple low for a simple guy. I got sunburned for the first time this year.
What?
That's amazing that you
I did.
actually didn't this year because you go to the pool so much.
Well, because
Yeah,
I'm
but she's in the
always like
shade.
vigilant. You get sunburned in the shade, I learned.
Are you
Wait,
dead serious?
So I'm laying
That's
on my
never
stomach
happened.
reading my book because the light from the water reflects the sun.
Were you right
onto
next to
you.
it?
Oh.
That's
like,
literally
near it.
never happened to me.
Oh yeah, I'm sunburned.
crazy.
Okay, so I'm laying this way to look at like to read and stuff. I'm sunburned on this half
How
of
close?
my back.
How
like,
close to
right
the pool were
here.
you?
I don't know, like close-ish.
Like
the
really close
shade?
to it?
No, like 10 feet away.
That's crazy.
And I didn't make any sense though because it was on one half of my back basically, and like
Oh my!
when
Was it
I
bad?
laid in the sun, pretty pretty bad. Not like the worst.
Oh my
And when I would lay in the
gosh.
sun, I would just lay on my back.
So did
my
you-
back wasn't ever in the sun.
Did you not wear sunscreen because you're in the shade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Usually I wear sunscreen in the shade because I learned my lesson after the first time I got burned on one half of my body.
In the shade.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
the pool just reflects it
This has
onto
happened
one half
before?
of my body. But I was just testing the limits. I don't know.
my
I was like, I'm in a
gosh.
different position. Maybe. No, it did. It did.
wait, I just thought of something else. I've been getting almonds wet and then sprinkling salt and vinegar seasoning all over them
Actually sounds really good.
Wet almonds. Wow.
because otherwise it won't stick. It's very weird actually, but I'm just finding anything I could sprinkle on, so I just thought of that.
I love that for you.
I've been doing that and it's like, oh my God.
Spritzing it with water.
It's a really good snack.
I'm trying to think.
That was your low.
No,
What was your
yes,
high?
that was my low. My high. No, I went out for my friend's birthday on Saturday, and that was
Aw,
fun.
that's fun.
We went. There was like this like rooftop bar in like downtown, and I don't really frequent rooftop bars in downtown, so it was a fun experience, and I have never experienced it before. But I love a rooftop bar, and it was like a surprise party, but I missed the whole surprise. So,
Oh.
because I was
Nice.
late, and I was late on accident, and I was like, dang it. And it's the thing where you have too much time beforehand,
Oh,
so you wait, and then you end up being late because you waited for too long.
Time blindness.
So I could have been a contender. I could have been there on time, but I was not. So I missed but I also don't like doing surprise parties. They're so scary.
What?
I'm always scared I'm going to ruin the surprise. So either you have to be
Oh,
really late or
please.
really
The
early.
stakes are high.
They are.
You're kind of like, it
So,
has a
yeah.
good feeling.
That was fun. That was
what's-
really fun. It was really pretty.
What's yours?
My low is that we were sick for like 10 days.
Oh, yeah. That was
So
terrible.
annoying. Lasted forever. Not fun. I still am just like feeling congested, even like 2 weeks later. It's just
Well,
hanging
there
on.
is apparently crazy allergies right now.
Oh, that's what I've been
That's
feeling.
why I've been sneezing every day for the last
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've been
weeks.
sneezing so much, and my teeth hurt right now.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
not
sinus
right.
problems. Cimorellis have very bad sinuses.
Bad
if you didn't
sinus
know,
problems.
we have like multiple people in our family with like very intense
We
sinus
have delicate
problems.
sinuses.
Oh yeah, freaking what is it, Nick or Joey?
Nick, our brother,
had those millions of
Yeah,
like
like polyps.
surgery.
Yeah, Amy has sinus stuff. I get sinus infections like all the time.
Me too.
I wonder if
So
you
many
have
problems.
the polyps.
I probably should get checked.
That's
I get them
crazy.
like a bunch of times throughout the year. I don't usually do the antibiotics. Usually they go away, but my teeth hurt. Anyway, you guys, I don't care about sinuses, but that's my low. My high was Christina's gender reveal. It
Oh,
was
that was
so fun.
fun.
That
That
was
was
so
our first
fun.
time leaving the house in like weeks.
Leo was having a rough
And
night.
yeah, he was having a hard time. He was just really like, I think he was just kind of grumpy. I don't know. He was
It
tired.
happened.
Yeah, Trish is like Domaleo is sad. She calls them Domaleo, like one
Domaleo.
of them. Domaleo.
That's what I think Alex's kids do too.
Domaleo is sad.
And Domaleo. But yeah, it was really fun. It was so heartwarming. I just love our family. I'm like, wow, especially when you're like cooped up for 2 weeks and then you go. I feel like our family gatherings are so special. It's just
They're
like,
really fun. We
all
always
of
have
these-
good vibes.
Yeah, we have such good vibes and like so many little kids running around. We did a family walk, which was fun. And
Yeah, it was really
It's
fun.
just all, and like we went in the backyard and played and like, I don't know, it's just always like this wholesome, fun vibe.
Yeah, we
It
have
was
such
fun.
good family
I know.
get-togethers.
And I'm like, it's so weird. We're so used to them because they happen every month. But I'm like, this is like special. Like not everyone gets to do this. This
yeah,
is
it
really
is
cool.
fun.
It's cool that like I feel like our mom really values like birthdays and stuff. She's like carrying the
Yeah.
torch, you know? So we celebrate every like month. We do like a monthly birthday party for all the birthdays that month.
Yeah.
So we have September.
August was our
6?
biggest to date.
5 or 6 birthdays.
we only don't have one in November, which we have Thanksgiving, and then April,
do we have
Oh
October?
yeah.
I don't think we have October.
and then
either.
October.
Yeah. Crazy. So anyway, it's gonna be about to be birthday land.
Woo.
But yeah, it was really fun. And I'm excited for Christina once you guys find out the agenda.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
exciting.
Adding to March.
Oh yeah, March, baby.
I'd like to point out that Christina's having her 3rd child in March. I'm the 3rd child born in March, and I also have my 3rd child was born in March.
I love
How
it.
weird.
pattern.
And I had my second in August,
And you had your 2nd in
and
August.
I'm the second in August.
Oh,
So
I love
weird.
it.
So weird.
No, this girl that I know from Bible study, She said her husband, all the guys in his family are born in December, and she's having a boy who is being born in December.
That is
Whoa,
too
that's
weird.
weird.
It's so weird.
Wow.
That is too.
I was like, wow, congrats.
All right, we're gonna get into the main topic. We're gonna talk about pregnancy, postpartum, birth. But first, two things. Number one, if you want to get every full episode, you gotta join our Patreon, patreon.com/Cimorelli. Link to the description. You get every full episode. You get all of our Monday videos, which normally is like a vlog, and it like really shows you what is going on. It gives you such a good inside look at writing the songs, filming, TikToks, videos, whatever we're doing. Like, you really get to see what's happening behind the camera. So if you really wanna know what it's like, what we're doing, check out Patreon, because the Monday vlogs really show a lot of that. And then there's a bunch of other stuff on there. There's Lisa's old Wacky Wednesday videos, guys. They really are wacky, if you can believe that. Those come up on our Throwback Thursdays a lot, and there are some gems in there, guys. Anyway, join our Patreon if you want to support us. You want to get all that stuff. It's a great way to support us, and it's a great way to be entertained and get all the inside look at what we're doing. And then secondly, I have to tell you, this episode is sponsored by Shopify. The Cimorelli merch store has used Shopify from day one, and we have had the best experience. We've had no problems. It's been so user-friendly, so easy, just such a great thing for us. If you are a business owner or you're thinking of starting something, what you need is Shopify for sure. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store to match your brand style. Accelerate your content creation. Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. Get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. So turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Cimorelli. Go to shopify.com/Cimorelli. That is shopify.com/Cimorelli.
Okay, ladies, let's hear it. Let's hear what to expect when y'all are expecting.
Things I wish I knew before getting pregnant about pregnancy, birth, postpartum. We'll see if we get to birth and postpartum. I don't have that much to say about pregnancy, though. TBH. Pregnancy didn't shock me as much as birth and postpartum did. So that's why I don't have as much to say. I guess the first thing I would say, because I just saw a bunch of our followers talking about this, so I know it's really relevant to them. When I posted about asking what are you struggling with right now, which is, what's it called? It's when you're depressed in pregnancy. I forgot what it's called.
Perinatal depression?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Is that postpartum depression?
During pregnancy.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay,
wow.
so I really wish I knew that was a thing.
I did not know.
I had horrible depression my first two pregnancies in the first trimester. And I think because the first trimester feels really isolating. That's why I announced this one way early. The first trimester feels really isolating because you're keeping the secret, but then you're really sick. So then you don't really feel comfortable telling everyone how sick you are. You might not feel comfortable anyway because you don't want to whine all the time. So it's oh, let me tell everyone for the millionth time today how horrible I feel. But when you feel bad, it is really nice to say it out loud.
There's so much pressure to from what it appears on the outside to suck it up and just be happy that you're pregnant
and you're
anyway.
grateful. Yeah, you're grateful, so then you feel bad.
Yeah.
I think those all contribute to it. But yeah, I had horrible depression, and I didn't know that was a thing until I saw, I think it was Shay Mitchell talk about it in an interview. And I was at the end of my first trimester, I remember, and I was oh, that's exactly what I have. I didn't know that's what was going on. So I really wish I had known about that, so I could have been oh, this is what's happening. It was also just a shock, suddenly losing so many, I don't know how to say it, functions, not being able to live my life normal, suddenly being oh my gosh, I can't eat this. I'm exhausted. I can't sleep. I can't do all these things that I could do. So that is a thing. And some people have great first trimesters, by the way. But Some people have horrible ones.
Yeah, wow.
So I had a rough ones.
I did not know that.
And this is the first trimester I didn't have depression
I feel
at
like
all.
a lot of it is kind of luck of the draw, though, and like genetics. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do to like help alleviate things, but also I think it's just like,
Yeah, a lot of it is just like,
especially with things like HG or whatever.
oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
That's
Bless
not
those
like, 'cause
people.
like some people can be like,
That's
you
severe
know,
morning sickness.
Yeah.
Can be like even really dangerous.
Yeah, and you think that it's like you just don't know. Me when I think
Yeah.
I'm pregnant, nope.
There's recent studies about HG showing that like they were able to link it with a certain hormone that's higher in certain
Oh.
women. I think it was before they become pregnant. So that was like
so
groundbreaking because they're like, we might be able to help treat this.
That's
Oh,
what
that
we
would be
need. We
so
desperately
good.
need that for these women.
I know a few people. I know Christina, you do too. That had
Oh my gosh.
HG, which is just an absolute debilitating. It's not morning sickness. It's like
Severe,
You can be
severe.
hospitalized and need like fluid. Like it is.
A lot of them are
crazy.
I feel like
hospitalized like
having
constantly.
bad food poisoning, basically.
24/7. A
It's-
lot
yeah,
of them are in the
life-threat-
hospital
it can be
multiple
life-threatening.
times a week for the whole pregnancy.
Like,
Oh,
I don't even know.
babies,
Yeah.
you're so courageous.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, seriously unreal.
It's really that can be very debilitating. So,
What's the first thing you wish you knew?
I mean, honestly, I would really my first one was me thinking about HG for some people that I know, where I said pregnancy is different for everyone. It's useless to compare to other people's pregnancies.
Yeah, I was
You-
gonna say that.
You have no idea how it's going to be for you. Try to have compassion for how someone else might feel because it could be a lot harder than you could ever imagine.
Yes.
And like my first pregnancy with the twins I felt pretty miserable. And I mean, I had a lot of symptoms throughout. It was the morning sickness, the food aversions in the
I'll
beginning.
never forget the ankles.
Oh my gosh.
Not the ankles.
That was like the
Not to
least of my
trigger you.
worries. My ankles swelled to like multiple times their size. That's insane. And then in the end, it was like I had like a really bad like just itchiness all over my body.
Oh yeah, that was.
And I literally like scratched until I bled. Like
Were those
all
from
over my
the
legs.
like
I don't know.
what's it called?
I honestly don't know. I thought I might have cholestasis of the liver, and I had them check because I was really worried about that. That can
Because
be,
that can make you itchy.
but I had them test, and my liver platelets or whatever it is they weren't elevated.
So
So
very odd.
it was
like
very
a
weird. I
mystery.
literally just had ice packs on my body all day. This was like the last month before I had the twins.
Oh my gosh.
And I just like I was super itchy. I couldn't sleep. It literally felt like I had fire ants on my body. And just like
That is so crazy.
weird symptoms that were so unpleasant. But then my pregnancy with Asa was like I would say pretty like good and not
Yeah, it
Boom.
seemed
not
like
that
it was
hard.
pretty
It
chill.
was night and day, so different. And that one was my pregnancy with the twins was ended with complications and induction. My pregnancy with Asa was like
No
textbook
complications.
and no complications. So
Boom.
I feel like I've experienced both sides of the spectrum, and I don't chalk it up to anything like, oh, I'm just better than you. Like,
I figured out what works for
yeah,
me.
I feel like sometimes people who haven't been through anything with pregnancy or birth in general can have a little bit more of like oh, have you tried ginger or whatever? It's like,
They're like, yes, I've tried
No.
ginger.
just don't
It's
say
hard.
that. Please listen. If someone has really bad morning sickness,
They
like,
try everything.
please don't say anything about ginger. Don't come near them. I tried the ginger candies.
I tried
Don't
the same-
try them with the
tea.
ginger.
Every time I try the same stuff that I tried that failed before, and I try C-bands
Yeah.
every pregnancy.
Eat a cracker in the morning. That
Eat
didn't
a
work.
cracker.
Whatever, all the like old wives or whatever things people try.
Ginger takes like 5% of the edge off for me to the point where I'm like, okay, that made me feel, positive that I did something, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really help.
I
that much.
bought ginger ale and I would just eat it or I would drink it after I threw up.
I love
It makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah, it was actually
I love
nice.
a crisp ginger ale.
I feel like it did
I love
settle my
that.
stomach a little, but that was post throwing up, so it's like I didn't like prevent
Ugh.
anything. So yeah, I think that's just one of my biggest things is like being someone who has had both ends of the spectrum. I just would never like compare or like, oh, I know what she's feeling. I have no idea how she's
You
feeling
just
in her
don't
body. It can
know.
be so different.
Yeah.
from person to person.
It really does bother me. There's a lot of people who say they do this and they mean well and they do it for pregnancy, postpartum, birth, being a mother in general. And it's good. It's confusing because you want to be real and you want to put the things that are negative out there just to be real, but you don't want to be like everything is negative because it's literally like the best thing of my life. Being a mother is like the best thing of my entire life. It's number one best thing ever. But I don't want to be fake and just be like everything was perfect. because that doesn't help anyone. But yeah, it really bothers me when I see people and they're like, guys, don't let people scare you about pregnancy. I've had a great pregnancy. I'm like, okay, that's really nice. That's good. You don't want to scare people. I mean, but we got to be able to look at reality, you know? Like,
your body's doing some whack stuff to create a child.
Don't people scare you about life.
Yeah.
I know someone who didn't die. I mean,
life is scary.
There's realities of life. They're just realities. And that's just it. We have to be able to look at hard things and be like, this is a reality. And that's it, you know? It doesn't have to be the end of the world. But that just bothers me when I hear people say that, which I've seen that a lot. And I know they mean well and they're trying to make you not scared. But then it's like, you say that to someone, then what if she ends up having HG?
Yeah.
She'd be like, I can't believe you said that to me.
But also it's like, you don't know how it's going to go either way. You could be really scared and actually have like a really easy pregnancy, or you could be really scared and have a really tough pregnancy. It's like, the fear actually is like, it's something where it's, you just have to, if you're going to be a pregnant woman, you just have to take the risk on it.
Yeah.
And be afraid, but like,
you don't need to be scared though.
don't
I think you need to be like, I can't believe how strong women are, and I can't believe I'm going to gain that strength.
Yes.
Because that's what it does. It makes you so strong.
Ooh.
It's not like you need to be scared of it. Do you totally agree with this? It makes you so much less selfish, so much stronger of a person, and you can't believe the things that you've been through, and you're like, wow. I'm really strong.
I love that.
I am so much stronger than I
truly
thought.
feel like it. I mean, that's like also just more birth and postpartum in general, but like,
not as much.
I feel like it pushed me to the edge of myself, and I remember having many moments, especially when I was freshly postpartum with the twins, being like, this is way more than I can handle. I don't know how I'm doing this right now.
And then you did it.
Yeah.
It's like, how did I do it when I couldn't do it?
I was like, I feel like I can't survive. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like,
and
just
literally
feeling so panicky. Yeah, that's one of my soapboxes.
Honestly, that was me babysitting the twins when they were both babies. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. One cries, I put him down, the other one cries, and I put him down, and the other one cries.
You kind of reach this level of zen where you're like, your children are both screaming, and you're like, you know what? I've done I fed them.
I do what I can do.
I rocked them.
I did the best.
And I'm not going to take this personally. But I will say, best. Like, I wrote a whole essay about this that I wanted to post, but I just missed my moment. This is like my biggest soapbox with pregnancy, motherhood, all of it.
You can never truly miss.
I have so many soapboxes
I know.
for this.
Well, this was related. Do you guys remember when the Chapel Roan thing came out? Where she was like,
yeah.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. Like, and then people were saying, listen, girl, don't let Chapel Roan scare you. Here's me and my kids living it up. We're living the dream. Our life is amazing. And I'm like, okay, I think both of these sides are missing the point. Personally, that's my biggest soapbox. I wish there was more nuance in the conversation.
Don't we all?
It is so
about
nuanced.
Pregnancy and motherhood. You can have HG and have a debilitating pregnancy. You could have, like I would say with my pregnancy with Asa, a very like textbook pregnancy that was really not bad. Like,
love that.
I even enjoyed it in a lot of moments. Like, there's some
women who love being pregnant.
Yes, there's such a spectrum.
It's my fave.
I don't think just because you've heard horror stories that you need to live in fear, but I also don't think that you need to go so far to like discount what other people have been through just because it was easy for you doesn't mean that it was for someone else. It's still very valid that like. And when someone's going through something that feels so isolating, they don't need people to be like, oh, well, I heard that this person just did this very simple thing that you're like, I already tried that 10 times and it went away for them. It's like, well, that's not everyone. So I just wish there was more of a nuance of like, yes, it's like so beautiful and such a gift and a miracle. And it's also can be really hard. To the point of being debilitating at times for certain people in certain situations. Like, and it doesn't make you better than other people or more mentally strong if it's like easier for you. You could just be lucky. Like, it's just it's a spectrum. So just being respectful of other people's experiences, I think, is really important.
Also, like, just sharing stories, I think, is so important.
Yes.
Sharing your
the
story,
good and the bad,
good
all of
and
it.
the bad, because it's not all bad and it's not all good.
Yeah. There's nuance.
Yeah, I don't get why it's so much demonizing of like things that are hard. People don't look at athletes who go through so much like pain and so many challenges and are like, oh, this is horrible. They're like,
Yeah.
wow, they're so strong.
Women
They
should
went
be
through all
seen
this.
as athletes when they're pregnant.
They
No,
are.
seriously, that's what pregnancy
No,
and birth and
yeah.
like postpartum motherhood, it is like being an athlete.
Your organs are rearranging.
And
It's
apparently
weird that-
giving birth is like equivalent to running a marathon or something on your body.
It's weird that we'll look at like an Olympian and we'll be like, wow, look at all the sacrifice. Look at all the pain.
Oh.
Look at
The
everything
strength,
they
the
gave up.
resilience. Yes.
Look at all that. And people are like, wow. But then you look at motherhood and be like, look at all the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Look at all the pain. And you'll look at the same two things and you're just like, I can't believe, like,
Yeah.
I think we need to just need to reframe. And you just become so much stronger.
You do.
And if you are, this is like my experience, if you are like miserable and drowning and blah, 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 there probably is a mental health issue that can be fixed actually, that you can help, you can change, you can get help for. This is my experience. Because for me, it was like debilitating OCD that I didn't realize that was driving so much anxiety for me. And like postpartum anxiety and depression, those, they really do have treatment options and you can change things. So anyway, I think that's, well, okay. Another thing for pregnancy, pelvic floor.
Wow.
It is shocking to me that doctors just don't really tell you this. It's like, why not? I don't know.
Yeah, why do they not?
There's just so much to learn about your pelvic floor because there's so many things you can every day, well, even if you're not pregnant, anyone who has a pelvic floor, which is a man and a woman, by the way, but women, I'm saying pelvic floors. Everything that you do every day, when you bend down to pick something up, when you load your dishwasher, when you get your laundry, when you go to the bathroom, when you sit up from laying down, everything you're doing is like straining or not straining your pelvic floor. Basically, when you cough, when you sneeze, when you scream, when you jump, all these things, there's a right way to do them and a wrong way to do them. It's just like engaging but you don't know these things and then when you're pregnant, it makes it way more like at risk for damage in your everyday life with all the things you're doing. It's not really that hard once you learn it, and then you just learn the proper way to do things, and then you engage your core when you're doing all these things. But anyway, I wish I had learned that earlier because I didn't actually start doing that. And I went to pelvic floor physical therapy all the times, but I didn't really quite grasp it until literally, like, I think last year, I finally grasped it in my everyday life and realized how to do everything correctly in a way that's not like putting so much extra pressure on it. So pelvic floor, learn about it, and it also helps with your birth and your postpartum recovery. Oh my gosh. Do you have any more pregnancy things?
I think my last one would be that I had this misconception because I started kind of healing from my eating disorder, but without even being formally like diagnosed the year before I got pregnant. And so I was already kind of like adjusting to like my body changing a little bit, really not as much as it did later on. And I had this thought of like, oh, I'm not going to be triggered by gaining weight in pregnancy. You're supposed to. Everyone knows that. Like you're literally growing a baby. You're going to gain weight. Hello. But I think something I found, and I know that a lot of women relate to this too, is like, just because you're pregnant doesn't mean it's not hard to see your body change. It is really hard. And yes, you know that it's supposed to change, but I think there can be this misconception, and also no shade, no tea to people that their bodies don't seem to change that much in pregnancy, because I know that's also a thing. And it's okay. Like whatever happens, it's okay. Like it's not your fault either way. There's a huge spectrum, but it's like, I think there's a lot of people that it's not just like, oh, you have a basketball and then it goes away. It's like,
And that's what I feel like we think.
but that's not the reality for, I would say, most people.
Yeah.
Most people, you get like swelling throughout your body and like fluid retention, and you feel pregnant in your arms and legs and everywhere, your face. Like I know some people, they're like, their face changes
There's
so much.
pregnancy nose. Some people get that.
But a lot of people just like, I know for me, like one of them, my ankles were like, the other one, my ankles actually stayed about normal. But,
Slender little ankle.
I know, but like I had both sides of it. But yeah, I think just knowing like it's okay to struggle with your body changing in pregnancy. And also I would really say, like, it took me a while to learn this, but like not thinking that you're supposed to look the same as you did before after you have a kid, because you're not. Even if you wear the same exact clothing size, your weight could be distributed completely differently, or your like
Things
your
like
skin could
shift.
be
Oh,
loose.
your hips.
Yes, so
My
much.
rib cage always
Oh my gosh,
expands
same.
up I don't know how many inches, like 2 band sizes.
Whoa, dang.
And it might not.
And then
go
it goes,
back
it normally
to what you
goes back
before.
after a little while, but it almost instantly expands. It's already expanded now, one band size, and it's only the beginning. Because the ribs have to make everything has to make room.
I read this amazing reflection from Emily Wilson. If you are interested, you should definitely check out her book, Sincerely Stoneheart, I think it's called. And it's about, it's the Screw Tape Letters, but it was written for women. And it is so well
cool.
written. She wrote this whole one about postpartum body image, saying how God, it's a miracle what your body did. And it's something to celebrate. And you should be proud of your body for what it did. And if it looks different, that's amazing. That's part of the miracle. But she's like, it's the temptation of the enemy to be wanting it to go back to how it was and wanting to erase any sign that it changed. I just, it's going to be different. I have so many stretch marks and loose skin and all kinds of things that will never go away. And I don't know, sometimes it's hard to look in the mirror and see those things, but also it's it is what it is. And I got to learn to look at it and just be that's my body, It
And
changed.
imagine how different you will feel. Every day we have a lot of choices, right? Every time you look at yourself during pregnancy or postpartum and you're saying oh, I hate this, blah, blah. Or if every day you're wow, I can't believe how much my body is doing. You get to choose what you're going to really repeatedly say to yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So a person who's been saying how much they hate it, how much they're struggling with it every single day for 9 months versus someone who's feeding themselves something positive. Even if it doesn't matter if your first thought is negative. If you go in with positive after that, imagine how different those two people will feel at the end, how different they'll feel about themselves and how much that will affect their mental health and maybe even their physical health with their stress levels. It's just very different, and we do have a choice what we're going to say to ourselves the whole time. So you might as well, just to a child, you might as well be saying something really positive. Just if you have a child and you're saying something negative to them every single day, it's really, they're going to act different, they're going to feel different, they're going to believe different things about themselves. So you do the same thing to yourself.
And I wonder if a lot of that is the pressure to snap back, as they say, or whatever. Also is because you have a hard time adjusting to a new life.
So you're if I can get this back.
If I could get my body back to exactly how it was, maybe I can get my life back.
Maybe I could have one thing that feels not so out of control.
Well, I know from a lot of people that I've gotten messages from in the past, a lot of people get a lot of pressure from their moms, their mother-in-laws.
Oh my gosh.
Not the mother-in-law.
I know. I've gotten so many messages in the past about this of people being my mother-in-law was oh, you don't want to gain the baby weight back.
That is a crime.
That is a crime against
jail
humanity.
for them.
I would like to say, if anyone has ever said anything like that to you, that is 100% their own belief projecting onto you.
You have to shut that down.
It has nothing to do with you.
You got to tell them.
And you reject. I reject.
I actually don't want any comments about that. You can keep those to yourself.
Yes.
That's so creepy because she's basically saying, you better look good for my son.
Guys, that's really weird.
I don't even know.
Well, or husbands. I've heard about.
No, but they're really thinking I need to look good, and I feel
that.
bad that I feel I look different. So they're putting it onto you.
It's just a way of making yourself feel not really better, but kind of better in the moment. Superior in the moment.
Or they're you don't want to look different or people won't love you anymore. I don't know, whatever the belief is. It's just, it's not real.
It's really weird.
And just because they think that doesn't mean that you have to think that.
Yeah.
Because the way that you think about yourself, even if it feels kind of fake at first and you do really think that, just looking in the mirror and being I like my body. I like myself. It's eventually you will believe it. If you just, I really think you can fake it till you make it with your body image.
Okay, so I realized I had a couple things. Okay. Something I'm doing differently this time is strength training. I wish I had known how miserable it is to lose so much muscle. It is miserable. And you are lifting a weight daily, your baby, that grows. But it's great because it grows, your muscles grow with it. But it's really physical postpartum, and you've just given birth, and having so little muscle, it does make it very difficult. Mm-hmm. So I wish I had known that how much better I can hopefully make things. We'll see this time. That's the thing I wish I'd known. And then,
oh, and you know what? To add to that really quick, with strength training, something that I kind of wish I knew was I had very bad low back pain in both my pregnancies, which can be related to weak core. And when I started to build my core back up or do some strength, then it went away.
that's a good thing for people to know. A lot of them have back
because
pain.
you're apparently my husband told me this because he's a personal trainer. Like when your core is really weak, your back muscles overcompensate to like make up for it. So it's interesting.
Sense.
Those things are connected.
And then blood sugar and nausea. So blood sugar can make your nausea so much worse and like trigger it in the first place. I focused on that a lot this time, and I did have way better experience with my nausea than last time, but I really didn't understand it the last 2 times. I tried, but I didn't get it. Now I get it. Like if I eat something that's just straight carbs, it would make me feel so sick. So I had to just pair it with like cheese or something, whatever.
I love cheese.
Just look into that. Cheese. That was a game changer for me this first trimester. I will say that was a game changer to not be so sick. And then blood sugar, just the whole pregnancy. For people are different. Like Kath's wasn't as like sensitive for some reason as mine. So I would get really sick.
But mine would get low. Like I would have a couple times where I remember being at church and I hadn't eaten in like a few hours, and I would be like,
oh yeah, I couldn't do that.
Oh, like I was like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like the world is spinning, and I would get like sweaty and like lightheaded.
Yeah, that would happen to me well, actually, that happened to me a lot.
So I had to eat very frequently.
But it wasn't from not eating. It was from eating a plant, like just a carb situation. And then I would get really sick after that.
Your blood sugar does change, definitely.
It was like really
pregnancy.
sensitive.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is spend lots of time preparing for birth. Especially, okay, when people say, my only birth plan is the epidural. That doesn't always happen, guys, unfortunately. So if your only birth plan is the epidural, sometimes the epidural doesn't work on you. Sometimes
or you get it too late.
You get there
you
too
don't have
late.
Time.
Sometimes it works on only one side of your body.
Apparently, if you have scoliosis, that can happen a lot.
Now, yeah, it may work for you, but it doesn't work for everyone, and sometimes there's other problems. I really think everyone should like prepare for birth, like prepare for like different things you can learn about like unmedicated birth, just in case that were to happen to you by accident, because that happens a lot. I mean, some people give birth in the car. You never know what could happen. You just never know what could happen. So I would just say preparing. It's even helpful. I've seen a lot of people say like even when they were having an epidural, like learning stuff for an unmedicated birth helped them a lot in their birth experience, learning about different positions, how these things affect the baby, which positions are like ideal for giving birth in. There's a lot. That's my soapbox. There's a lot to learn about birth that for some reason not all doctors are. Okay, all doctors. This is my point. All doctors are absolutely not the same or equal at all. Not at all. And I've actually seen several different ones during pregnancy and like switched. Guys, they are not the same. They don't have the same beliefs. So if your doctor is telling you one thing and you're like, okay, my doctor told me this, another doctor might tell you something totally opposite. So that is something that I didn't realize at first. I thought like, oh, they all know like the facts and they were all just telling me the same thing. That's not true at all, actually. Because I ended up switching doctors and then I was told something very different from the other doctor versus the other doctor. And then I've seen this a million times. They don't all believe the same things about birth.
Yeah, it's like practicing medicine is very different for each person that practices it. It's a human being practicing it that has their own beliefs.
Well, it's not like, I don't know, I feel like maybe appendicitis, maybe that's like pretty much the same. Like, you have appendicitis, boom, or kidney stones, I don't know.
I was reading this book, The Tipping Point. He was talking about how cardiologists in different parts of the country actually practice cardiology very differently.
Oh. Okay, so maybe it's this way for everything.
Procedures.
Wow.
Okay, so
based on the people that are around them too. It's like different, like it's just.
You have a lot more options than you actually think. Like in birth, there's like all these different interventions that you may need or may not need. And sometimes a doctor will say like, we should do this. And then if you ask, is it medically necessary? They're like, no. And then you're like, oh, then I actually don't want to do that. It's not medically necessary. Or they could be like, yes, it is to do something, but you actually have all these options. Here are the pros and cons of all the options, which doctors don't always tell you. And you can ask, what are the pros and cons of that?
I will say I had both ends of the spectrum again in my 2 different birth experiences. I had one where I had the midwifery model of care and I gave birth at a birth center. And I had another, the twins birth, which was high risk. And I had an OB and I gave birth at like a traditional hospital. So 2 very different settings. And it was night and day, so different. The midwives, everything was all about consent. It's very respectful. They tell you, they don't tell you what they're going to do. They ask you, is it all right if I check you, blah, blah, blah. Like everything they do.
Instead of, we're going to check you now.
You feel so respected. In the hospital, I had a very different experience. And I'm not saying that all hospitals are like this or nurses.
No, I had
a
great one at the hospital.
Yes, you can totally have this experience either way. But
it's
I
by
had
the person.
An older nurse, and I think she kind of had this very old school way of thinking where it was like, you're the patient, so sit down and shut up type of vibe.
Oh my God.
And she literally at one point was like, all right, your OB is going to come in. She's going to break your water. Like,
Whoa.
it was like,
excuse me?
it was like, it was no question. There
Not
was
like,
no,
how do you feel about
Which,
that?
guys, that
What are
is
the options?
that is
Yeah.
an option. There's nothing that you're
But
forced to do.
the way she presented it was, we're going to do this and you have no choice.
That's
so because I had
crazy.
a doula and I also knew that I did have a choice, I was able to like talk it out, make the choice, and I allowed her to do that when I was ready. But if I hadn't educated myself, I wouldn't have even known that I had a choice because it was not presented in that way.
They don't seem like you have a choice.
A great example is a cervical check. So that's what Catherine's talking about when she said they'll check you. They will just say, I'm going to check you now. They don't say, hey, is it okay if I check you? By the way, here are the risks of checking. It increases the risk of an infection.
Oh.
Which,
Yeah.
if you have an infection, then you have to more quickly get there's always options there actually too, but they don't even tell you. They
That's
should be telling
really
you,
sad.
here's the risks, here's the benefits of checking right now.
I will say, on playing devil's advocate though, I kind of do understand though why a lot of doctors are more like aggressive with things. I think a lot of doctors don't want to get sued.
Well, yeah,
Like,
that's the
'cause,
reason.
Like, there really are so many different choices.
I mean,
and
no one wants to
think
get sued.
It seems like not they're not all the same, but I think a lot of them are like, I'm just gonna do the safer thing, even though the other one might be totally fine because I'm afraid I don't want to get sued.
I mean,
I think that's a big part of it.
Also,
yeah,
that's like
definitely.
really sad for women though, because when you think about it, birth, as we all know, is a very personal thing. And a lot of women go through a lot of trauma, especially SA trauma, and then
Oh my
they go
gosh.
in to give birth, and people are
I've
just
seen a lot
ordering
about
them
this.
around and like inserting themselves and like
Yes.
be like, I'm gonna grab you, I'm gonna touch you, I'm gonna do all these things.
No,
I'm
a
not
lot
gonna
of
ask you.
I've seen a
first."
lot of women actually talk
That's
about
like
this.
really sad.
And they've said they've had like major trauma from their birth because of their
see
history
that.
and how much it triggered them, and they went into like a freeze state.
Yeah.
And
I could see
I don't know, people
that.
always like just a healthy mom and a healthy baby, or they say just healthy baby, but healthy mom, healthy baby. Then if you do something like that, you're not setting the mom up to be healthy when she's taking care of her
But you
fresh
should
baby.
always be asking somebody before you're gonna like touch them, especially in a place that's very vulnerable.
That's
100%.
not what a lot of medical professionals think, oddly, but a lot of them do. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's really important to listen to your intuition because you know your body, and if something doesn't feel right, you should listen to that. Like,
There are hundreds. Okay, I've read or listened to like hundreds of birth stories, and there's so many times where a woman
have
goes,
too, yeah.
something doesn't feel right, and then it turns out to be something,
Well,
and
and-
they just know.
yeah.
But it makes sense because your body is so intelligent, and like doctors, they're not in your body. They can't know what feels wrong and right, and they don't, even if you try to vocalize sometimes, you don't necessarily have the words and stuff. It's just like,
Exactly.
it's tough.
Like when I had the kidney stone, I'd never gone to the hospital for pain in my entire life.
Yeah.
Until I had a kidney. Every time I have so much pain for whatever's going on, I wouldn't think I need to go to the hospital. When I had a kidney stone, I knew intuitively something is definitely wrong. I need to go to the hospital.
That's something you wish you would
I
have
knew
known.
something was wrong.
When you
Oh,
got-
you're
yes,
right. Okay,
this
wait.
is a big one.
Do not overdo the Tums,
Oh my
guys.
Don't overdo it.
This goes for anyone. I had horrible heartburn, which is supposed to mean, allegedly supposed to mean your baby has a bunch of hair. I had a bald baby.
it doesn't.
It doesn't mean that.
Bald baby.
But I was really overdoing on the Tums because I had horrible heartburn that was waking me up in the middle of the night. It was just all the time.
Not right.
Oh my gosh. So that allegedly is what ended up creating my 2 giant kidney stones that were so big they got stuck and they wouldn't just pass themselves.
Oh
they
my
got
gosh.
stuck.
Ah,
And they're just like, they're these little jagged things, and they're just like,
don't overdo the Tums, ladies
I did
and
research
gentlemen.
for
Don't do
Christina
that.
and sent her articles, and I was like, look, this article says if you like overdo it on Tums, it can take a year and a half later. And wasn't yours like almost exactly?
It was 2 years
like-
later.
Yeah, like it's something that takes time.
And he said these
for
have
it
been
to,
forming
like,
for years.
Yeah, to build up and get to.
Oh,
a point.
that's so scared.
Isn't that crazy? I tremble. I mean, I still take Tums every once in a while, but I'm like,
You tremble.
Kev, I was taking like 7 or 8 a day.
yeah, because of your cautionary tale, I was like, I had horrible heart rate. I was like, I'll only do it 1 a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
all.
you could take 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think I took 2, like 1 dose or whatever.
It was like for the last like month. It wasn't even that long, but it was just don't do that.
Don't do it, ladies and gentlemen.
I learned my lesson. Never do that.
Okay, well,
I think that's all
I
our.
think it's time to.
Is that all our lessons
I
learned?
have so many more, but we could always do
We can do
another
a part 2.
Woo. Yeah.
My main thing is know your rights.
Know your rights.
Know your rights as a woman. Ask questions. Ask for pros and cons. Ask them for the risks and benefits. And then actually you can look what's it called? Evidence-based-birth.com. It just has statistics and studies. You can look and it'll be like, here's the statistics, here's the studies on this.
I also feel like that's true for any medical situation.
Because you know what? Okay, here's my last thing. Here's a good illustration. This one doctor, he told me, I wish I could remember exactly what he said. He told me, I was asking him, what are the risks of giving birth to a big baby vaginally versus C-section? And he told me all the risks of vaginally, and then he didn't tell me any risks of a C-section. And then I looked it up afterwards, and he left out all these risks on the C-section, and he was really talking about this one. I wish I could tell you exactly what he said. He was really talking about this one specific risk vaginally that existed in the C-section that he didn't even mention. So I'm like, that's why I switched from after that. I'm like, that was really dishonest. You didn't even tell me the actual risks. Luckily, then I switched to providers who weren't like, if your baby is big, you need a C-section. Because then obviously I had a 10-pound baby and I didn't need a C-section. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to him, but like, I don't know. I wish I could have told him afterwards I had a 10-pound baby vaginally and it was fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My big message is just don't compare yourself to other women.
Yeah.
Which I know is literally everyone's nature
so
to
hard.
do. And I know it's like, I do it, you're going to do it anyway. But I'm just telling you, everyone is so different. There's things that are way out of your control. Like, I kind of had a very mixed like reaction to my unmedicated birth with Asa. And I just felt
Reaction?
so like afterwards, I was just like, I don't know how I felt about that.
Oh, your feelings.
And for a long time, I felt kind of like a failure because I heard a lot of women being like, I loved my unmedicated birth. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Am I just like, I think I was like, I'm just like less mentally strong than they are. And I felt like
He was stuck for a couple
failure.
hours.
But then
That's
later
not
on,
normal.
through therapy and also the chiropractor, weirdly enough, I learned some things that really changed my perspective, which in a very
Wow.
quick nutshell, one was that I have a very crooked pelvis and I did not know that. And she showed me the x-ray that it was literally sideways. She's like, this is supposed to be straight.
Whoa.
I don't know. And I've always had really bad
So
hip pain
weird.
on that
Wait,
side.
you have. I
So I'm
remember
like,
that.
I remember like when I was 12 years old doing a cartwheel one day and my hip popping really loud and me being like, that didn't feel right. And ever since that day, it's like always hurt.
I wonder if that can do that.
I don't know. But
Weird.
I just realized like this was literally something in my biology that I can't like, or in my physiology, whatever, that I can't change.
Yeah.
That deeply impacted the birth and made it very difficult at the end. And then the other aspect was something I learned in therapy was your trauma can deeply impact your birth, especially if you have SA or any type of like that category of trauma. And I know for me, like that type of thing, and also like the twins' birth, I was literally having flashbacks from their birth trauma during my birth with Asa. And I did a lot of EMDR and stuff after.
That's good.
But it wasn't until after I gave birth to Asa that I was able to be like, I was literally having trauma flashbacks during my birth because so much of it was reminiscent of this other experience.
Yeah.
And I could not breathe my way out of that or do a certain position or whatever. It's like sometimes there's only so much you can do when your body is literally shutting down and you feel like you're standing on top of the ceiling watching yourself from like.
And you're not a failure if you didn't
yeah.
enjoy a not enjoyable experience sometimes.
Right. And it's like, I think that's my thing is like, just because someone else loved it doesn't mean that you are going to. And there's nothing wrong with you if you don't. And like, they're just things that are out of your control. It's like, it's not your fault.
It's so out of your control.
Yeah.
It is.
You got to give yourself grace.
Grace.
And you know what? Through all the trauma of motherhood I've been through, I feel so good about it now. I've processed it. I'm so much stronger. It's just quite the ride. But seriously, you make it through and you're so much stronger. So
Yeah.
I just want to encourage
Love
everyone that you can make it through so many incredibly hard things, and you won't believe what you can do, and you will feel so much better later once you process things and heal. You'll feel like you're a better person. You're a stronger, better person. That's that. We can move along to the 5 POVs of the week. So we have Lauren's, but not Lisa's. Okay. So this is from our patron, Marie Jens. In an emergency, if you had to choose one sister, who would you call that you know is going to pick up?
Oh.
Amy.
Well, that's really easy. Amy's the number one
Thank
phone
you.
picker-upper.
Thank you. Thank you.
Although, I don't know if I would call Amy in an emergency.
Are you kidding?
Why would I
I'm
call you-
amazing in an emergency.
Why would I call you in an emergency?
You call your first responder
You're like,
husband.
Yeah.
Because then you start panicking.
No,
It
in
depends
an
on what
actual
it is.
emergency, I'm very good.
I agree.
I'm very good in an emergency. I go into Zen mode and I'm ready.
I don't know if I've seen
Like
that.
because I haven't had to help you through a real emergency. Like when I helped Lisa when we were visiting Chad and he got locked out of the house and all this stuff.
When I went to the hospital in the middle of the
Oh.
night in pregnancy, I called Lisa.
I would, you know
I
what?
will say. This is when she didn't have a child.
Lisa would be great for
She
that.
was good.
Lisa's
say.
great.
I wouldn't call Lauren ever.
proximity
Because I don't think she would pick up and
I
she'd
would
be like, I'm
knock on
tired.
Lauren's
I don't know.
door, probably because she's right
I
there.
feel like Lauren's always too tired. I don't know.
I
So
don't
probably
know.
not Lauren. Kath's too busy.
Yeah,
Meg
I
call
feel like
Kath.
before I had kids, like you called me when you had really bad flu
Yeah.
with Barrett, when you were pregnant with Barrett. Remember I took you to the ER?
Oh, yeah.
So
You at least have both taken
I was a
me.
lot more, yeah, I was a lot more available before.
Well, I was coughing up blood, and I was like, that seems like a really bad symptom. They were like, oh, it's fine because you're on blood thinners. Like, okay.
Oh,
Because I thought I was like something really bad. They're like, no, it's fine. I was like,
you
oh,
have tuberculosis.
okay.
That's scary.
honestly, I just being real, I feel like if I have an emergency, I would call my parents or my in-laws. Like, I think I just
Our
think
parents,
of like a parent.
guys, our parents.
They've been through a lot between the two of them.
They know how to deal with an emergency.
Yes.
I
They
will say.
really do.
They will drop everything and like really be there. My husband is the ultimate emergency person,
Literally
I will
his
say. He is the ultimate person to
Yeah.
call an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay. We need Lauren's.
Okay.
Let me see. She's calling you. Wait.
Let's see.
Oh, audio.
Let's see who she's calling, folks.
It's got to be Amy.
Perchance.
Emergency. I can choose one sister. Who do I call? No, she's gonna pick up. Amy.
She's going to
Amy's
pick
gonna
up.
pick up, and then she's gonna call anyone else that needs to be called. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Amy.
Yeah, I'm great.
So true.
And, like I took her to the doctor when she broke her foot. I filled out all
did?
her paperwork for her.
I mean, I feel like you are kind of the mayor of our family.
oh, I
The
was
mayor?
on the phone on the doctor. For
Oh.
like, which foot is broken? And I was like, wait.
You're like, I broke my foot. Which foot?
Which foot is
Which
it?
foot?
I feel like Amy's like the mayor.
Lord Christina, born in 1998, I think.
Christina's
My
like
name's Lauren
emergency
Christine.
relief service.
That's so good.
I'm like the hospitality crew.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's funny.
What a life.
Sister Spotlight, where each sister has a spotlight in her. It's time for me to eat right now, so I can't think at the moment. I'm about to have a snack. I did eat first.
And I'm saying,
I eat like every hour.
no, okay. I'm saying like right now.
I literally ate first. No, because we had to finish this.
Okay.
I'm going to eat in 5 minutes. Anyway, I literally ate an hour ago. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving
Happens
right
to the
along.
best of us.
Where each sister gets a spotlight on her. Get Real Christina, Sappier sets up with Kath, Lisa's Corner, Amy's, Rants and Raves, Lauren's Take. And this week's sister is Ding! Get Real Christina. So I'm just going to expand on what I was saying. Know your rights. That's what I'm going to say. Does that apply to non-pregnant?
Yeah.
The non-pregs?
Yeah, it does.
Actually, no. I don't want to expand
I
on
would
that.
assume most people that are watching this episode are either pregnant
not
or plan to be. I don't know.
Okay,
think.
actually, I don't expand on that. I already expand on that. I want to expand on resilience and like the strength you gain, because I do see that a lot. I've seen so many women who are so terrified of pregnancy, of motherhood, of birth, of any of those things. Some people, it's like birth is the number one thing. Some people, it's pregnancy is the number one thing. And then some people, it's motherhood and the life change. And I totally feel you. I don't think I went into it being as scared because I didn't really know as much. If I knew as much, I maybe would have been more scared. But once again, don't let that get you down. Just because you're scared doesn't mean you can't handle it. Doesn't mean it's not going to be completely worth it. The thing is that I feel like it's easy for us to say, like, we have this really hard thing and it was really difficult, and you can be like, oh yeah, I can see what that would feel like. And I think it's really hard for mothers to tell you what motherhood feels like with like the absolute joy and the highs. We can tell you that, and you can't picture what that feels like. There's nothing you can compare it to in life that would tell you what it feels like. It's just incomparable. There's nothing you could think of that would give you that feeling of this innocent child that you're raising, doing the things that children do. It's just unreal. The joy that they bring, the funny things they do, the weird things they do, the sweet things they do. You can't put it into words in a way that anyone could ever feel if they haven't experienced it. And that's the tough thing. And the strength and the resilience that you gain, once again, it is just absolutely priceless to know that you can make it through so many difficult things, and you can't even believe how incredibly strong you are. Like, to be able to be like, wow. Like, I was such a wimp before, I will say. I will say I was a selfish wimp. It makes you can't be selfish as a mother, and you can't be a wimp anymore. I was such a wimp, you guys. I was so scared of needles and blood. I could hardly say the word blood before. I remember I'd be like, BLOOD. Yeah, I say BLO. I was so scared of needles and blood. I was so scared of surgery. Like, a C-section was like literally my number one fear. I mean, I was asleep for that, so that doesn't really count, but the healing and everything, like, I was so terrified. And to have to do 200 shots during that pregnancy, which then it was no big deal after the first month, but all the blood tests, all the blood, all the needles, all the pain, I was so scared of pain. I was such a wimp. Guys, that's not me anymore. I am not a wimp anymore. And you know what? It feels amazing to overcome your fears. I think that's the thing we're forgetting. People are like, I don't want to have to face all these fears. It feels horrible. No. It is horrible, yes, in the moment, but it's amazing. It's so much more amazing to overcome fears than it was horrible to deal with them. And that says a lot, because it was horrible to deal with them. It is just such an incredible feeling to be on the other side as a mom and be able to go through anything in life and be like, I gave birth. I can handle this. I was pregnant. I can handle this. I went through postpartum. I can handle this. I was sleep deprived for months and months on end, and it was like pure torture. And I made it through, and I became a stronger person. Like, I can handle anything. It literally makes you feel like you can handle anything, after it first makes you feel like you can handle nothing. Because it first made me feel like I was so weak. And that was my mindset at the time. So I'll end it with that, which I'm going to talk about this more in our next episode, actually, about mindset stuff. But I had this mindset at the time of things, and that was something that motherhood like pushed me through to like grow through. And it was just like, why is this happening to me? This sucks. This was horrible. This was so hard, blah, 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 blah. And then it did end up changing into like, I'm strong. I can't believe I did this. Look at all the stuff I did. Look at who I am. Look at how I am. Look at my resilience, blah, 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 blah. You can have both of those mindsets in the same situation, and you're going to be looking at a drastically different person who's feeling drastically different things about their life and themselves with the exact same circumstances, going through the exact same things. So don't discount if you're scared of pregnancy, motherhood, birth, or anything, literally anything in life, some career change, I don't know, marriage, whatever the heck, right? Could be anything. Do not like write yourself off and like the strength that you can gain from going through it. You have to go through it though. That's the thing. But the strength that you will gain, the resilience, like to see yourself grow and see like what you're really made of and see like how strong you can become, guys. That's absolutely really nice. Priceless. And you kind of become like a superhuman, I will say.
Love it.
And that's for anything in life that forces you to grow, right? Force you to put yourself aside and grow. and turns you into a different person and a better person. So that's what I will say. Let's not let the fear of striking out
keep us
from
from playing the game.
That was so insane.
Story.
Guys, join our Patreon if you want to support us. You want to get all the extra content. And we'll see you guys in the next episode with Lauren joining us again. Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.